There ain't much that a good cup of coffee and a little bit of time won't cure. There ain't much.
This is one of those things, another one of those things that has taken 3 years. 3 years ago, I went, E. Branstein had an art opening, and I went with Lorraine Newman and her husband Chad, and she introduced me to Desalvo. And for those of you who've been around long enough to know, my favorite year, my favorite movie of all time. Dennis Palumbo was here, and we were screaming out, everyone was screaming out their favorite lines, yours being amongst them, and it literally is, and I've tried to get my kids to, and I keep trying to get copies. I go to the Vizio store, you're supposed to order it, and all of this stuff. It really is, I haven't seen it in years, and I must, it is, anyway, Arthur. I mean, come on! So I meet her, and I'm like freaking out that she's got to do Women Who Write, and I have been hounding her for 3 years. And as you know, I do not give up, much to the chagrin of everybody I come in contact with. But Anne really wanted to come, but she was teaching on Tuesdays, and she was unable, but it's summer. So the advantage of having Women Who Write in July is that we get to have Anne Desalvo. So let me tell you something about her in case you don't know. Anne has enjoyed a prolific career as a visual artist, actor, writer, director, and producer. From auspicious beginnings in Boston, starring in a production of West Side Story under the tutelage of Leonard Bernstein. She moved to New York and quickly became a notable Broadway and off-Broadway performer, originating roles in landmark plays written by the likes of Chris Durang, Albert, and Peter Parnell, and did revivals of The House of Blue Leaves, Lovers and Other Strangers, as well as singing in the musical adaptation of Kurt Vonnegut's God Bless You, Mr. Rosewater, and Marilyn Miller's spoof Girls, Girls, Girls at the Public Theater. Anne won an Obie Award and a Show Business Award for distinguished performance by her legendary performance opposite Danny Aiello as Lucille Pompey in you know, you're really testing my skills here. Thank you. His play, but Gemini, I know Gemini, I can say Gemini. She also received critical acclaim opposite Harvey Fierstein in his play Safe Sex, also on Broadway. The West Bank Theater was home to her hilarious one-woman show, The Moaner. Anne appeared in the world premiere of A.R. Gurney's Human Events. Most recently, she reinvented the role of Lucille Pompey, I'm going to keep saying it wrong, for the musical version of Gemini, and also played Maria Callas in the Philadelphia pre-Broadway tryout, for which she was nominated for a Barrymore Award as Outstanding Actress in a Musical. I want you to sing. Here in LA, she continued her stage career. LA credits include the musical version of A Midsummer Night's Dream with Mare Winningham and Cleavon Little, and Why the Beach Boys Are Like Opera at the Met Theater. Anne won the 1992 Best Actress Award at the Pasadena Playhouse for her hysterical performance in Lend Me a Tenor. She's also appeared in Three Grooms and a Bride at the Coast Playhouse and Blackout at the Egyptian Arena Theater. Anne most recently performed in the Obie Award-winning The Oak Tree at the Odyssey Theater. Anne has starred in Stardust Memories with Woody Allen, Arthur with Dudley Moore, My Favorite Year with Peter O'Toole, Perfect with John Travolta, Compromising Positions with Susan Sarandon, Burglar with Whoopi Goldberg, and Taking Care of Business with Charles Grodin and Jim Belushi. Other films include Starting Over, Fear and Anxiety and Depression, and Unsung Heroes, to name a few. She's also done countless independent films. Anne went on to do a score of television movies, including starring with Terry Hatcher and Brian Brown. She's done the Amy Fisher story, Casualty of Love, Frame Up, John, oh my God. And has also guest starred in several notable television series, including Entourage, Monk, The Closer, CSI Miami, Sex and the City, Mismatch, American Dreams. American Dream? No, that's a different one. Judging Amy, Felicity, Chicago Hope, X-Files. I can't name it. There's like a gazillion of them. In the past few years, Anne has taken her hand to writing. She produced, wrote, directed, and starred in the critically acclaimed comedy short, Women Without Implants. It aired on Lifetime Television, is the highest rated of their women's film festival, and played in festivals around the world. It was nominated for several awards, including a Cable Ace Award for Anne as Best Actress. She then went on to write and direct her first feature film, The Amati Girls, with Mercedes Ruehl and Cloris Leachman. It won the Best Film Award, and Anne won for Best Director and Best Screenplay at the Marco Island Film Festival. The Amati Girls also won the Award of Excellence from the Heartland Film Festival and the Award of Excellence from the Film Advisory Board. It also took Best Film at the Los Angeles Italian Film Festival. And has appeared on numerous talk shows, including The Tonight Show, Entertainment Tonight, Kathy and Regis, to name a few. She was involved in the Actors Studio in 1984 as a lifetime member. She was invited into the Actors Studio as a lifetime member in 1984. She has served as a national officer on the board of directors of the Screen Actors Guild and has been part of the faculty at the Lee Strasberg Institute and the USC Film School, which is why she couldn't be here for so long. She's been invited to teach master classes in LA and in New York. Anne's one-woman show, Mama Roma, based on the life of the legendary Italian actress Anna Magnani, who Chad told me is the love of his life besides Pam, just completed the prestigious Mentor Project at the Cherry Lane Theater in New York City. And today, we are about to be treated to a taste. I have goosebumps. I'm so excited. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the long-waited for, and it was worth waiting for, and Desalvo.
I was just very moved by that, sorry. Yeah, thank you so much for having me, Vicki, and thank all of you for being here today. I said the middle of summer, who's going to come, you know, and she said, no, they'll come, you know, so I'm really glad that you're all here. As you well know, that, you know, I'm doing an excerpt from Mama Roma, which premiered at the Cherry Lane Theater in New York last year, and it's about Anna Magnani, who was one of the most soulful, earthy, and unique actresses in cinema history. I don't know if you know who she is. I hope that this makes you hungry to see some of her films. She's Meryl Streep's favorite actress and Helen Mirren's favorite actress, and she was very raw and unglamorous, and she was almost middle-aged when she actually became an international star, and she was nominated for an Oscar. She won the Oscar, rather, in 1956 for The Rose Tattoo. But, you know, Mama Roma is not a play about a film icon. It's one of the major themes in the play, a section of which I will be reading today, is the personal price of art. And in the early 1940s in Italy, Anna Magnani was a single mother and painfully struggled to find the balance between trying to raise her son, who suffered from polio and needed treatments in Switzerland, and together with a very fierce sense of ambition that she had. Her son's resentment begins to build in her absences. I'd also like to make note that Anna Magnani had a very strong friendship with Tennessee Williams, the great playwright who wrote several roles for her, and with her beloved birthplace, Rome. She was illegitimate, and she abandoned by both parents, and there's lots to tell, but I'll just get to the excerpt. Anyway, this scene is where Anna Magnani has been greeted with just the most incredible fanfare in New York after she was doing some publicity for a film in Manhattan. So this is at the height of the fanfare. New York! And New York gives me so much courage. Anything can happen. Anything is possible in America. Roma is an enchanting woman, but New York makes me feel on fire. Parties, receptions, cooks from restaurants rush from kitchens to greet me. Taxi drivers yell, "Hey, Anna!" People on the street stop me, asking me if I knew a relative in Italy. Strangers who feel like family. New York is tough, but human. I understand this. If only Luca could be with me. Oh, he would love all the skyscrapers. I I sent many postcards for him to see. When I arrived back in Roma, it feels so good to be home. Mama Roma didn't realize how much she missed her cobblestone streets, our marble statues. But Roma, a city, is its people, no? Roma, don't worry. You are my lasting love. I'm still true. I call Luca the second I get in. I was leaving the next day to visit him in Switzerland. Luca! Mama's home, caro. Oh, I have so many souvenirs for you. We'll be together in just one day, eh? I promise What? What is it, Bella? You have to go. Oh, you're busy right now. Oh, well, of course. Yes, sometimes Mama talks too much. Eh? Well, of course. No, you go. I understand. Tomorrow then, eh? Okay. Ciao, Bella. As soon as I hang up, the phone rings. Luca? Oh, it's you, Tennessee. No, please. How are you? Nothing's wrong. I just get home. I'm a little tired. The rose tattoo is being made into a movie. Serafina is such an incredible part. Opposite Lord Lancaster. He's one of Hollywood's biggest stars. Oh my God, I can't believe it. But you can't be serious. My English, Tennessee, I don't speak so good. Phonetically. Yes. Yes, well, I guess to learn anything is possible, no? Serafina delle Rose. I was born to play this part. And no one can play her better than me. This role is mine. When do we begin? Oh, Tennessee. I can't just drop everything and get back on the boat. There's Luca. I just get home. Tennessee, I cannot leave my son again. Lancaster is a big star, but my son is my blood. 2 months shoot. Oh, no. No, you must find someone else. Well, I don't know who, but you must search. I said I do the movie, but the timing is no good. Now or never, oh God. What's in the career? Please, Tennessee. Only you would write a role for me in a Hollywood film. I realize that. But you must do it without me. The opportunity might never come along. I understand. You must find another actress. I know how old I am. I know. I can't say yes. I can't say yes, Tennessee. Oh, but please. All right, I do it. I just hope Luca would forgive me. This torture burns in me that day, and every day that follows. Hollywood was a very different kind of place. Tennessee, please understand how grateful I am for this wonderful opportunity, but I think maybe I'm the wrong style for Hollywood. In Italy, we work on inspiration, improvisation, shut your eyes and go. In Hollywood, it's different. Tennessee put his arm around me and tells me that they hired Anna Magnani to be Anna Magnani. what it is I do. With that, my heart flew open. With that permission, all my instincts, all my intuition came on fire. I threw myself off the mountain. I think of Luca every day when shooting the rose tattoo. The moment it finishes, I go straight to Switzerland. Luca, you are my rose. Did you get all my postcards, Bello? He had grown so handsome and tall. Almost a teenager now, but thin and pale. He was still walking with heavy steel braces, but the doctors promised that the next day's operation might finally restore his legs. But something was wrong. Lucas sits with his back to me, facing the wall. As I draw closer, I see my postcards ripped in his wastebasket. The nurse tells me that he had recently smashed his crutch into a window. Why don't you look at Mama, Luca? Please look at me. I'll be by your side the whole time. I promise. Mama's here. I stay with Luca for weeks, for months. He seems happier. Until the doctors tell him that he still needs to remain in the clinic. I have to return to Roma for my work. A knife goes through my heart not to bring Luca back with me. One day, months later, Franco, my agent, shows up at my door. He's so excited, I can't understand what he's saying. An Oscar nomination. Oh, but you can't be serious. The rose tattoo just opened in America. Well, I don't know what to say. I can't believe it. To be nominated in such incredible company. Jennifer Jones, Eleanor Parker, Susan Hayward, Mio Dio, Katharine Hepburn. I feel like an earthquake inside. Such big American stars. And here I am, a foreigner. Of course I wouldn't win. No Italian had ever won. But the Academy Award, I couldn't speak. Tennessee tries to persuade me to attend the Oscar ceremony, but I decide to stay in Roma. A friend in New York will call with any news, good or bad. Tennessee, don't be ridiculous. I'm not preparing any kind of celebration, but our bet still stands, no? $100 that I don't win. And I want cash. Cash. Friends and I sit in my living room late into the night. The call never comes. When the sun comes up, I start to wake my friends and send them home. Suddenly the phone rings. Yes? Yes, this is Magnani. No, I never received a message from a telegraphic writer. What? Congratulations, Anna. Brava, Magnani. Who is this? I what? Are you sure? If you fool with me, I kill you. Yes? Yes. Wake up. Wake up, everyone. I won the Academy Award. I ran to the balcony and yelled out to the doorman, I won the Oscar! It's true! I won! 911! The doorman yells. The people are coming down the streets from all directions. I dial Luca's number. Luca! Luca, it's Mama! Luca, I won the Oscar. Do you believe it, Caro? Luca, can you hear me? Are you proud of your Mama? The Academy Award. It's unbelievable, no? Luca, are you there? The doorman yells for me to come to the balcony. The group is forming in front of the building, shouting, Complimenti Anna! Brava Mama Roma! Finally, Luca speaks. It's only a statue, Mama. Yes, Luca. I know, but it represents so many years. The doorman again shouts for me to say something to the growing crowd. 1 minute, please. Luca, so many years. Oh, I'm sorry. Yes, you're right. I'm sorry I woke you. It's just, I was so excited and I wanted to tell you. I forgot how early it is. Forgive me for waking you. Go back to sleep, eh? Can't call you later, eh? The doorman continues to yell for me to speak to the crowd. People are loudly chanting, Mama Roma! Mama! I walk to the balcony, where there is a sea of faces. Today, a girl from the streets of Roma feels the blood of all Romans in her veins. My blood flows in the blood of each and every one of you. What is more important than blood? What is in my heart? What is in my heart? I cannot express.
It's like kind of not even possible to talk after that. You know, we've had people come up and read to us. We've had some people perform for us. I've never been so moved. Anyway. It's extraordinary in achievement. Come back up, Ann. Come back up because I want us to talk to you. And we're going to talk to everybody, but it's extraordinary in achievement. You know, the performance is beyond description, but you wrote it. Tell us about it. What brought you to this? What motivated this?
Well, I had written a couple of screenplays which I wrote and directed, and they were distributed. And I thought, well, I'm a theater girl. I did a lot of Broadway and off-Broadway, and I thought I would like to go back to New York and try something, or just try my hand at playwriting. And I worked on it for, I did like 1 million drafts.
Okay, tell us how many and how long, because I want you to make us feel better. I want you to make me feel better.
I was relentless. I mean, I had a great mentor, David Rambo, I just did. I didn't know how to write a play. I didn't know how to write a screenplay, but I didn't know how to write a play. And so I just kept going and making it deeper and deeper, and then adding more stuff, and sending it to very seasoned playwrights and taking their. I did a reading here, with Larry Moss. I did a reading in New York at the Cherry Lane, and then she saw it and she said, let's do it. And I just worked really, really hard and was not afraid to make her unattractive emotionally, to really get the human side of her, that she loved her son tremendously, but she was very ambitious. She was a single mother. She was not a great beauty. She started, they discovered her late. And so she had to go where she had to go. And this is 1940s, 1950s in Italy. Just to be an unmarried mother. And she was illegitimate, and she didn't want that to be the life for her son. So she was married previously, and she got him to put his name on the birth certificate. And her son really had some resentment towards her. I read a lot about things, and then I had to fill some of the stuff up, And also during this time, which I did not read today, she was scheduled to do Two Women, which Sophia Loren eventually did. Carlo Ponti had owned the project. And, but she was, they were kind of wanting Sophia Loren to play the daughter, who was a 14-year-old virgin. And when she heard that, she got furious, and she kept fighting with them. Anyway, long story short, eventually she got dumped. She said, you know what? Why don't you ask Sophia to play the mother? And Sophia did play the mother. And I think Carlo Ponti really wanted that for her anyway. He was kind of trying to nudge her out of it. So she was being replaced by the beautiful, glamorous, and very young Sophia Loren. And that was very, very hard for her. And she said that she thought that Sophia Loren had taken all of her emotionalism and all of her stuff that she had made famous internationally, and now it was going on Sophia, coming out from a very different kind of package. And so this all happens on one day, this entire thing. She recalls, but it all happens in one day where her son doesn't show up. She's waiting for him to come to lunch, and his anger has really reached its peak where he doesn't show up for her birthday, and she loses the Sophia Loren role that same day.
What's wrong with him? Why is he in braces?
He got polio. He was 18 months old, and so she had to keep him in these Switzerland clinics that were the most advanced in Europe at the time. And so between his being there and her shooting in Rome or shooting in the United States, because she did 3 very big pictures here, she was constantly, tortured by that. And he turned out to be, not happy about that. And, she tried to keep all of that very private. It was very hard to find out some stuff. And, but I just read every book. I had my Italian teacher, translate several books for me. And from Italy, I went to Rome, and I got 2 years ago, and I got some books there as well, went to the libraries. And I just really researched the living daylights out of it. And she was also, there's a lot of joyful parts. I mean, she was a very big in vaudeville, Italian vaudeville. She was a singer, she was a buffoon and a clown. And, I want to also take that in. But her life was very dark, and she had a very dark personality. So I was making sure and having my director help me, please help me find the places where there's some buoyancy and light and fun, and so it's not all dark. It's one of the primary themes, the personal price of art. And I think so many of us have had that kind of an experience. Where do you draw that balance between career and personal? She greatly struggled with it.
Did she and her son ever get close together?
Oh yes, they did. Oh yes, they did. They did. There was just some tension there, and it's hard, especially being a single mother. The man she had the big child with was not a hands-on father. And there's a big section about Rossellini, who was the love of her life. I don't know if you know anything about her. I really invite you to look on Google her, because she's extraordinary. And shooting during the war. At the end of the war, they shot Open City. I don't know if you've ever heard of the film Open City Rossellini made, and that's how they met. They had this very torrid relationship for 7 years, and he left her for Ingrid Bergman. So again, another tough love. But she was hard to deal with. She was a lot of work.
Anybody have questions for him?
Are you still performing it, or is it going to be a book, or?
Well, I'm thinking about, I'm thinking about maybe doing it in New York, because I just did it, the mentor project did not go full out. But I'm thinking about taking it back to New York and also maybe filming it. And it's just a question, I throw this out to the room. I'm just debating now, do I, because I've done plays on Broadway that we shot for Showtime, as plays, but, because it's much easier to do it as a play. But, when you think about really filming it, I mean, to get the money to go to Italy, I mean, unless we just mock and go places in New York and little, and find places. To shoot it as, have you ever heard anyone shooting a play versus someone shooting a movie?
Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm just wondering, starting to think about it, which would make more sense.
Well, I think that a play, as long as they have close-ups of you, see, on stage, someone in the back won't get the experience we had.
Right.
But if you film the play with you, yes, that's the way to do it.
But like here, like I'm using full voice, it's big,
Yeah.
Film is the camera's here, I would not be this big.
Right.
Although she was very histrionic.
If you
some
film the
people,
play, you can be big.
if you film the play, you would have to be big, I would think, in order to get that theatrical feel. But to do it as a movie, it would be, smaller. Yes.
Look at Julia Sweeney's And God Said Ha. Tarantino directed that film, a film of her stage show.
And what was that again?
Julia Sweeney's one-woman show, And God Said Ha.
Oh, really?
It's a story when she was taking care of her brother with cancer, yet she was diagnosed herself with cancer.
Oh,
And she
wow.
did a one-woman show, and then it went to off-Broadway, and then Tarantino, he directed a stage. And God Said Ha.
And God Said Ha. Yeah, I've heard of that. I've heard of that play. I will look it up. Thank you.
Anybody else have, I think we're all in stunned.
Yeah.
Roger.
I just want to commend you because I've seen the Rose Tattoo and I've done a scene from it, and it was astonishing. The first thing that I wanted to do as an actor is go, yeah, right, okay, let's see this, because I've seen Anna Magnani, and it's true, she is magnificent. I was just really astonished at what you did, how you channeled it, and people say that channel, but you caught her in a bottle, her energy and her darkness, and those moments of lightness. I saw it all the stuff you were talking about. It was brilliant. I'm so grateful that I came here.
We need time to hug and kiss and eat and take some pictures and Desalvo.
There ain't much that a good cup of coffee and a little bit of time won't cure. There ain't much that a good cup of coffee and a little bit of time won't cure. Patience and caffeine